Yes, good morning. So the objective of today's discussion is just we are going to discuss about some of the concept of security methodologies, security technologies normally used for securing an information in an organization. The first one method is that is called intrusion reduction system. So before going to talk about this intrusion reduction system, just to please try to remember on that is a security alarm which is present on bankings. There is a simple example for intrusion reduction system. If there is intrusion attack, there is a possibility of intrusion. Then we are going to we are going to sense it. We are going to detect, and based on that, we are going to make a actions. Okay, so for example, if you work, just to think about that banking, if there is some thefting is possible, and if the manager is predicted that there is a thefting is possible, and means that they are sensing immediately they are sensing and they are making that means making alarm means make they are immediately they press their alarms. So automatically alarm rings so that it makes an alertness that there is a possibility of getting some thefting or possible or that's attack is possible to hacking. I mean, so to accessing that unauthorized person can access the information from an organization. Here, that unauthorized person to get the money from a bank. That is, means there is stolen that means thefting that money from a bank. That is a meaning. Here just we are working on the IDS. That means that intrusion detection system. So normally the intrusion means when an attacker attempts to gain entry or disturb the normal operation of information system. It means that if the someone active, I mean unauthorized person activity is dangerous to the particular organization information, then we call it as intrusion. So here it is called as attacker. Here it is not a theft. Please try to understand. So we know that the theft means it is a constant danger. But here the intrusion detection only detect for attackers. For means we are making a security technology for preventing attacks. Clear? So attack means that it is an unexpected thing. So only if the unauthorized user try to access the information which is harm to the our society or harm to the organization information, then we call as intrusion. Next one, intrusion prevention. Actually, that is we must know what is intrusion. Intrusion means there is an attack is possible, so that we need to detect the intrusion. So that we need to frame a set of procedures and for identification of this intrusion. Okay, now that the intrusion is detected, then after that that is also that once we found that there is an attack is possible, there is an attack is happening. So immediately we need to react for that. So that is called, it encompasses the action, that is includes a set of action when the particular attacker hacks the information. If the possibility of the intrusion is, I mean, say, assume that if there is no intrusion is detected, then we need to define what are the set of the actions we need to do. For example, in a bank, if that attacker means that if the manager identified that there is an intrusion, then immediately that the procedure is they need to press the alarm. So that is called reaction. Then the next one is after that you are going to make a correction. Means that again once the attack everything is over, that means once we detected and reacted and the solution is formed, and finally again we need to bring on to the normal state. That is called intrusion correction. And these are the basic things. And we need to prevent for all kind of an attack. So that we need to define the set of activities for defining an intrusion. So whenever if you are going to implement the concept of security technology in terms of intrusion, then you have to go with the prevention methodologies. And after that, even though if the prevention is not possible to apply, then you are trying to apply the concept of detection method. Once if it is detected, we need to react. So once if it is once that everything is over, then reacted, and we need to bring that organization into the normal state. So further we are going to have an intrusion correction. Okay, so this is the basic things we need to know about ID. I mean intrusion. Okay, so next one that is called intrusion detection system. That is called we call as IDS. IDS means that is an intrusion detection system. So here it works like an alarm, and it detects a violation and activates an alarm. It means that IDS is a one system. It's work like as alarm. Once if that attack is found, then automatically it activates an alarm. Okay, in that alarm, it may be audible or maybe visual or it may be silent. Depends on the organization, they can decide it. I will repeat once again. IDS means that it works like as an alarm. If it says that there is an attack is possible, then it activates an alarm. So that alarm sound, it may be an audibility, or it may be visual, or it may be a silent. Clear? Okay. The next one, so if you want to work with this IDS, if you want to work with the IDS, you must to know about some of the terminologies, that the basic concepts you must to know, or what are the basic information we must to know while you want to implement the concept of IDS. The first one is called alert or alarm. So this is the indication of violation, means violation deduction that a system has been attacked. It means that means that we are going to make some indication to the outside world that there is an attack is possible. Means that not it's the outside world, we are going to indicate that there is an attack is possible and we try to overcome that problem. So with the help of that alert or alarm, we are going to provide. So that this is one of the important terminology in IDS system. And the next one is evasion, that is called this avoidance. There is also is a possibility of avoidance. Actually, the attackers change the format and the timing. I means that here we can't able to predict. I means predict that always the attack to be happen only on the particular duration or the particular period of a time. It may be taken on any time and it may be on any format. We can't decide that only the attacker come on same path or same way. Means the same methodology. So we need to adopt for any type of a format possible for getting an attack, and also the based on the timing. Also the timing may be differ. It will be called as evasion, and also we need to avoid that attack in any format. I mean, we need to make a system to deduct all kind of this attacks. It come in any format on any time. And the next one, we will just talk about these four information later part. The next one is called as a noise. Noise means that it is an unsuccessful, means a noise is called as unsuccessful attack. It means that if the attack is possible, means if the attacks are happening in that organization and that, but the unauthorized person unable to hack in, means access the information, then it will be called as noise. And the next one is site policy. It is a very, very important. Site means the location which is you are going to implement the IDS concept. So that is called the site policy. This policy defines a set of rules and regulations, or it maybe provides some guidelines for implementing these IDS systems in our organization. And the next thing is, and also the site policy awareness. Means that the members in an organization must have a clear awareness, details about these alarms. Alarms, and also that the configuration of the alarms may be changed dynamically. It is also very, very important. And they, even all those changes must be known by the authority of the IDS. Means that even assume that the location of that the location of that alarm button, or maybe that alarm sound, the way of you are interacting with the alarm, it's everything may be changed frequently. So then only that the other unknown person, unauthorized person may not aware about this IDS, so that we can so that we can try to avoid the problem of attacking. Maybe we can try to avoid, or maybe we can try to reduce the impact of your attack. And the next one, tuning. Tuning means that it is a very, very important terminology. That means assume that we are going to implement the concept of we are implemented IDS in our organization. But in our college, we are implemented the IDS in terms of video cameras. That means that that is a camera. Clear? Okay. So here the tuning means that even there is an attack is possible. So what with the help of this IDS terminology, we are trying to at the maximum level we are going to predict that we are going to predict all kind of an attack. that is called as a tuning. And the next one is a confidence value. Actually, the confidence value means that it is like as a probability value, or maybe you are going to fix some weight. It indicates that this is called as attack. For example, there is a possible trying to understand the DOS attack. So we know that the DOS means that for a same system, for a server, we are getting n number of requests at the same time, so that the server cannot able to identify, cannot able to predict for which service or for which one we are going to provide a service. So automatically the server performance down. Is it correct? So, but we need to predict it. If the number of packets is beyond like 100 packets per second, then I can say that it may be called as attack. So that we are going to define a confidence value. That is called the weighted value or maybe factor. We are going to define this happening, this kind of possibility of the situation happens. Then we have to say that is attack. So that we are going to define some weighted factors. So that is called as a confidence value. And I think maybe while working on data mining concept for association mining, for prediction of association, we are defining confidence. Once this much of confident rule we have defined, then this activity must to happen. So like that we are going to define. So like that here the confident value indicates that we are going to define some kind of weightage, for indication of this IDS. Okay, so the next one is called as alarm filtering. So even there are the n number of attacks possible, and maybe for every attack, maybe there are different kind of alert maybe we can use. So that we need to classify. This is the alarm belongs, means this attack belongs to this category. That is called alarm filtering. And alarm clustering or compaction. Means it's a process of grouping similar attacks, similar type of attacks as for a group, similar groups. That is called alarm clustering and compactions. And the next thing, it is very, very important, that is called the stimuli. I think, so already you heard about the meaning of the stimuli. That is called as a message. That's the first one parameter is called as a false attack stimulus. And the false attack stimulus means here it is a false attack. So it means that the alarm activator when there is no attack in progress. I will repeat once again. So these are all the components and the procedure we are talking about, and this is the concept related to the working principle. One is called the false attack stimulus. It means that the alarm is activated but when there is no real attack in progress. That is called as a false attack stimulus. And the next one is false negative. It means that the IDPS, that is called Intrusion Detection Prevention System, is failure to detect an alarm. That is called as reacts. So the IDPS reacts. So the IDPS, sorry. So the IDPS reacts in the absence of actual attacks. Reacts in the absence of actual attack will be called as that is called false positive. And the next one is for true attack stimulus. Actually, it activates the alarm. Actually, this is a false attack stimulus. It means that the alarm is activated, but there is no real attack. The next one is a true attack stimulus. The alarm is activated when the real attack is happening. That is called true attack stimulus. And another one more thing you must to know about that. Yeah, these are the three or four important properties you must to understand. These are all that actually characterizing the concept of IDS system. One is a false attack stimulus. The alarm is activated, but there is no real attack. And the alarm is activated for the real attack is called a true attack stimulus. And false negative means that there is a real attack is happening, but the alarm is won't work. So that is called false negative. And next one is a false positive, but actually the system is alert or created an alarm. That means that it is a reactor, but there is an actual attack is not possible. Clear? That is a reverse of your false negative. Clear? Okay, so these are the some of the basic terminology you must to understand. So see the meaning of this terminology, that is called terms or expressions. Once if you want to work with the concept of IDS, that is called intuition, deduction and prevention system. So these are the basic message. These are all called the working components or maybe a working principles. You must to know about all this terminology. Then only we can able to work with this IDS. Okay, I'll move on to the next one. There is a types of IDS systems. That is called IDPS, Intuition, Deduction and Prevention System. That is the abbreviation for IDPS. So there are two possible types of IDPS. One is called host-based IDPS. Another one is called as network-based IDPS. If you're saying it is a host-based IDPS, the intuition deductions is or applied in host system itself. I mean that, for example, assume that I want to implement the intuition deduction system for my cabin. So here I'm going to implement the IDPS only on my room. It may be in the form of alarm or it may be a form of camera, whatever may be. Clear? That is called the host-based IDPS system. But it is a network-based IDPS system. So here is a simple example for fixing a camera in front of our college campus. So that here that IDPS means that the camera will control that IDPS. That is a intuition deduction. Means intuition for in the entrance itself. So that it applicable for all type of security, not only for my cabin. It's it's security for all areas. So that is called as a network-based IDPS system. So if it is a host-based IDPS system, it will be it will be on a particular location, or maybe if you are taking about a system, it will reside only on the particular system itself. And so it will be monitoring the only activity on the current location. If it is implemented for my cabin, it will be only look out only on the my cabin, so that it will be only the look on the particular system itself. So that it only so that with the help of this IDPS, we are going to verify your integrity. Clear? You know what is integrity and all. So that we are going to verify your system integrity, so that only the authorized person can able to allow and access those resources. So in a computer, we are going to monitor all your system configuration databases also, and also we need to maintain your old log file. So here for our camera, it maintains a video coverage. So and also that there is a but actually in our camera we don't have any prediction of your IDPS, but there is if you let us think about a fire alarm. It is also look like that only, so that it's saying if based on that the current temperature, then it makes an alarm. That is it senses it and it can react for that. So that there is a various category, various classification of attack is possible based on that the activation is possible. Means that we are going to deduct and make reactions. Okay, but actually the advantages of this host-based system is it will deduct only the local events, exactly because we are implemented only for the local environment, and also that it no need for any network-based applications. Means that not possible to apply the same thing coverage for entire organization. So some possibilities, there is a possibility of detecting inconsistencies. So inconsistency means that even we can't detect it is an exact attack, but there is a possibility of making attacks. Okay, but the disadvantage is need a more cost, because we need to have a more management, because if I implemented this alarm in my cabin, so I need to monitor each and every second. So we need a more management effort, and also that it is a vulnerable, it is a weak for both the direct and indirect attack. because I need to be here. If I'm not available, then if there is a possibility of attack, it will not possible to detect. And so also not possible to apply for multi-hosting, and also that possibility of even if I have a n number of threads, the attack is possible at the same time. It is very difficult to detect, and so need in case of computer system, we need more log files, and also that it will means that reduces the performance of a host system also. These are some of the disadvantages of IDP. There is a home-based IDPS, that is called, we are going to host-based IDPS. It means that you are implementing this IDPS system only on the current location. For a simple example, we are going to fix that camera, means the IDPS system only on the particular area. For example, my cabin, called our department cabin, whatever it means, our laboratory, whatever it may be. Or maybe in a particular floor in your hostel. These are some of the examples for IDPS. Oh, I mean, host-based. And next one is a network-based IDPS. So that you are going to define, implement this IDPS system in anywhere. You can going to implement it anywhere in your organization, so that it monitors the entire activity of your network. Even it will sense about your traffic also, how many members are coming and how many members are activating, how many members are coming and use the organization resources, and they are trying to predict is there any possibility of attacks. So that they are monitoring, always we need to monitor all activities inside of the network. Clear? Okay, so here in a network, if you are working with if you are implementing the concept of IDPS in your computer network for detecting different kind of attacks, the one is very, very important, that is called protocol stack verification. Protocol stack verification means it is a process of looking invalid data packets. It is called as protocol stack verification. And even if the message during checking the concept value of the integrity, if the integrity is not possible to maintain, then we are going to for checking the integrity, IDPS system in anywhere in the organization, so that it will cover all the activities of the organization. Clear? So so that it will monitor all the activities. So for every activity, means every possible of vulnerability in our system, so we need to there is a different monitoring ways we are going to implement. So if you are implementing the concept of this network-based IDPS system in our home system, that means in network, that is called with the help of computer level, then we need to check that the packet level. I think you know that no, while you are sending messages, that corresponding header information of the packets is very, very important. So that you are going to analyze your packets, packet headers. That is called protocol stack verification. And we are going to test the integrity of your message which is received from your source machine with the help of verifying the messages with the help of integrity. That is called as am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. So okay, so the next one is there is a good network design implementation. So if you want to implement this IDPS system in a network based, so we need to identify that the proper implementation structure. Then only we can able to detect all kind of attacks. Clear? And also it is a passive device. Actually, as usual, the organization, the deployment of organization is normally it will be as usual. So we are going to add the intrusion detection only. We no need to disturb anything on the existing environment. For example, if I'm going to fix a camera, not necessary to change any locations. If I want to fix the camera for my room, not necessary to change my room for implementation of IDS. It will be existing as usual. I'm going to add this IDBS components. It's enough. That is the meaning. And also that it is a network based, so that we are looking on all type of attacks possible. So that is called easy to detect all type of attacks. So the different, the disadvantages are, but actually, if you are implementing a simple thing, you can assume that you are going to implement the concept of IDBS technologies and IDBS method in network, for our monitoring the packets. For that, it takes some more extra time for processing a package, so that it increases the delay, so that automatically the performance of your network will be reduced. Also, we need to look on all type of attacks, so that we need to concentration on monitor all type of efforts attack also. And also that if the packets are encrypted, it is very difficult to detect. If you are implementing in network, means that in either LAN or WAN or MAN. And also we can't say it is reliable, because if there is something problem in that implementation part, so entire attacks is going to spoil. But it is not in a host-based system, because in a host-based implementation system, only if there is a problem on that, the risk of robustness, only the problem on that particular IDP system, it will not affect the entire organization, because the individual implementations are there. But here it is not like that. And also, if the packets are fragmented, it is not applicable to apply. Okay. And the next thing is, just we are talking about the implementation locations of IDBS system. And the next one, what are the different methodologies we are going to implement for detecting intrusions? Especially it is based on, what are the different type of methods you are going to use for detection of your IDBS? So that there are the different kind of the methods we have followed for monitor and evaluate your work. One is called the signature-based method. I think it's applicable for everyone. I think even if you go for outing, or maybe if you go for in our college, just let a simple example that if you go for outing or maybe somewhere else you want to go out of the gate. So you need to get the permission from authorized person. That is called signature-based method. Clear? In a network, we are appending the signatures along with your messages. So only we need to verify the signature. We are going to, we are going to allow, or we are going to detect that there is no possibility of getting attacks. So that is called the signature-based method. And the statistical anomaly approach, it means that based on that existing, that is a history, just we are going to compare with your existing normal thing that we are going to predict. And there is a stateful packet inspection method and a log monitor. There are 4 possible type of a method is applicable for detecting the methods. One is called as a signature-based method. This is called knowledge-based. It means that we are going to add a signature, that the signature must be predetermined and pre-configured. So it means that predetermined means that the person which is standing in front of the gate must know my signature. So that then only they can identify this is the authorized signature. If they're not knowing, means not having enough idea about the signature, then it is very difficult. Correct? Okay. So that we call as a predetermined, pre-configured packets. And so normally this is a method normally used in many areas for clear and distinct signatures. If you have a proper clear and distinct signature we have, then we can easily to check it. Clear? Like as a hashing method in a network. Hear about the hashing algorithm for checking the confidentiality and integrity. Correct? So like that, we are going to go with the concept of signature. Clear? But there is some disadvantages, weakness we have for the signature-based method. One is the continuous update. Means if the new persons, or maybe I want to change that my signature, so that we need to continuously to update our new strategies. And very slow methodology surely that number of traffic is high. Means at the same time, there are 10 members in a gate. It needs more number of time to process that. So that it is a very slow methodology. And the next one is called statistical anomaly approach. That is called stat IDPS, or maybe it is called behavior IDPS. Here, we are going to predict that attack based on the behavior. So that here what we need to do is that we need to record all your predefined behaviors. Means that if the person is coming into college, they are doing this, they are doing like that, and this kind of activities will be treated as a non-attack, non-harm to our organization. So that we call it as a not possible. It is not an attack. But if you feel that if this kind, some of the behavior is feel it is irrelevant to that, then you can say it's called attack. So the collection of statistical summarizes by observing the traffic. So we are going to predict this kind of the behavior is not at all, it's an attack. So you are going to collect it and you are going to evaluate based on your existing. Already you are summarized, no? So from that you are going to compare with your existing, then you are to predict it. Yeah, for example, so select the sample network activity and compare with your performance baseline. For example, I am bring a one packet is received, and I want to check it whether this kind of a header is whether the normal header or exists, or maybe the attacking header. So we have some collection of header. If the header comes like that, and then it will be means we are going to train it already. If you are going to make it as a computerized, we are going to train it. That is called machine learning concept. So that we need to train the system. So that we have some training tools we have. So that we are going to compare your current packet with your training tools, and based on that we are going to predict. That is called statistical anomaly approach. Okay. So next one is called as stateful packet inspection method, or maybe we call as stateful protocol analysis. Simply, it will be called as SPA. So actually here there is. So here we are talking about only the behaviors, matching the behavior. But here we are going to talking about your profile. Profile means that we are going to allow to access only the persons coming from the particular organization. Means that I want to access the message only from this person. That is called stateful packet. Stateful means that only the authorized area. Here that is called predetermined profile. So predetermined profile means if you are wearing ID card, we are allowing to enter into the college. That is called predefined profile. You have a predefined authorized signature. So this is called predefined signatures. Then the method is called as a stateful packet inspection method. In the network, we call as we are going to only allow authorized person. Further, we are going to use a different kind of authorization method to identify the authorized person. That is called the stateful packet inspection method. Clear? Okay. So and also that if you are implementing the concept of stateful packet inspection method, we need to record all type of communication takes place. You are going to maintain log file, and also that you are going to maintain log file monitor. It will be called as LFM. So LFM means that it is you are going to maintain some records once that person is coming for accessing the information, and from the list of your log files, you are going to check it whether is there any possibility of attack or not possible have an attack based on your log files. But each and every activity in a network have a log files. Okay, so now we discuss about where you are going to implement the location we are going to implement the concept IDPS, and the next one is what are the methods you are going to use it for deduction. So implement, that is the system is trying to implement it host base or network. We identify the location, and I am going to define the methodology for deduction. So the deductor, IDPS implementer, then it is deductor. Then we need to respond for that IDPS, means intrusion. So that is called as a response behavior. So there are different kind of behaviors we have. That is called, it may be an audible or visual alarm. That is a normal default response behavior we have to use. And the next one is called, it is a protocol trans and plugins. And email message, sending email messages, even that is a security message will be received once if that email is used in some other locations other than your mobile. Yes, and there is a possibility of sending phone messages, or maybe you are going to launch your program. It means that automatically some programs need to execute it to indicate that this is happening. and that is called firewall will be reset up, or maybe that, or maybe we can going to take it against intruder. That is our own private, according to that our own policy, site policy, we are going to take an action against them. Maybe in offline, it will be suitable. So. So these are the different type of IDS response behavior is applicable. Clear? Okay. And so that is a for implementation of the IDPS. That is the strength and weakness we have. The strength is we are going to maintain monitoring and analysis of all your system events and user behaviors. And that is also that. So each and every security stage will be monitored in the form of SFSM. And we need to define what is the baseline for your system, and the same way for and also we need to manage all type of operations, and also it will alert when the particular attack is possible. But the limitation is we will not have 100% security, and also that if the number of traffic is high, it means that more number of people is coming. It is very difficult to detect and report and responding for the attack. And if new kind of an attack is possible, it is not defended, then it is very difficult to implement. Clear? Okay. And the next one is called the deployment and the implementation strategy. That is called control strategy. The controlling for IDPS. It may be a centralized control. Means all that control will be on monitor on single location. Simple thing, that is our camera. That means all that active means will be monitored on our principal locations. So that is called centralized control. And the next one is a fully distributed control strategy. It means that so that only the control on only individuals. And the partially distributed control strategy, some control means some of the components some of the IDPS systems are controlled with central, and some of the activities to be controlled in local. So these are the three different possible ways we are going to deploy the IDPS. So based on that, and what is the different measurement we are going to detect? This is a possible of attack thresholds. We are creating a blacklist and whitelist, indicates that if it is coming like that, it will be considered as attack, and this kind of activities considered as not possible of an attack. Alert setting and code viewing and editing. That is called the perform stateful protocol analysis. Clear? These are the different measurements also we have to use for deployments. Okay, so this is the way just we are going to implement the concept of IDPS systems in our organization. Okay, I'll move on to the next one. So that is called as the scanning and the analysis tools. Normally that the scanning and analysis tool means that we are going to control your problem of the we are going to analyze the entire organization within depth manner and predict to control your attacks. So there is a simple word we must know, that is called as attack protocol. So attack protocol is a series of steps or a process used by an attacker in a logical sequence to launch an attack against a service system. Means that the unauthorized person follow this different kind of procedures for hacking information from the target machine. Then it is called as attack protocol. It may be in a footprint or it may be a fingerprint. There are two steps. So actually, how to make that? Footprinting means that we are going to monitor only the set of accessing only from that only the particular authorized network. That is called as a footprinting. And the fingerprinting means that we are going to identify. How to say that? We are going to apply only for the area, that is called fingerprinting. It means only that it is applicable for only that area which is suitable. The footprinting means that we are going to apply the security measures for all the areas, and fingerprinting means it is for the particular service and we are going to apply. That is the meaning. So the possible systems are port scanners, firewall analysis tool, operating system detection tools, vulnerability scanners, packet sniffers, and wireless security tools. These are some of the tools normally used for fingerprinting tools. The port scanners normally it will be it will be implemented on a network for based on port. For every port there is a we know that there is a port numbers are there, so that the port numbers normally used for communication purpose. So we are going to use the a particular port for analysis. Okay, and the next one is even for a HTTP, the port number is 80. Always HTTP communication must take place only for POP 80, port number 80. So that is called port scanners. This you are going to only you are going to only analysis on the particular port number, the packets coming from the particular port number. And next one, firewall analysis. You know what is a firewall? So that we are going to, based on the policy of the organization, we are going to detect and work. So there are different kind of firewall tools are there. One is called NMAP tool. So the next one is a firewall, and next one is HPING. So these are the different kind of the firewall tools normally we use for detecting and for controlling your unauthorized access. And the next one is operating system detection tools. So for that, normally we can use ICMP method for, the name is called as XBROB tool. That is called, it follows the concept of ICMP, that is called Internet Control Message Protocol concept. It will control everything. So this is called operating system detection tools. And the vulnerability scanners, there are two types of scanners. One is called active vulnerability scanner, another one is called as a passive vulnerability scanner. So active means that you are going to have a depth analysis of your your activities. So that it is called as black box scanners or maybe versus or spike. Actually, that means that without thinking about the authorization, you have to go through the entire depth analysis of information. And that is called issue scanners and Metasploit framework. These are the some of the scanners tools normally used for act as a vulnerability scanner. Even for if you want to say that your virus is, network is secured once. If you want to know about your weakness of your network security, then there are some tools we use. No, so like these are the some of the tools normally used for active vulnerability scanner and also passive vulnerability scanner. So what is a packet sniffers? What is packet sniffer? It is called a network analysis. You know what is a packet sniffer? Just we are going to analyze the packets. And for wireless security tools, normally we use for BSCR tools, crack wide equivalent protocol, that is called WEP. And as these are some of the wireless security tools, it is preferred. But nowadays, still number of tools are also existing. And the next I will move on to the next topic, that is called cryptography. I think I don't need to go with much more depth on these things because already you studied about these things. So that here just I'm going to tell you what is what, but I'm not going to have a depth discussion on these topics. Clear? Okay. So it is a process of securing the, so you know what is a cryptography? There are two formats we have. One is a cryptography and a crypto analysis. Cryptography means that securing the transmission of information by using different codes, different methodologies. Crypto analysis means that from that we are going to get a plain text from a ciphertext without knowing the algorithms and keys. That is called as a crypto analysis. Okay, so then you know what is encryption, what is decryption, and what are the different kind of terminologies you must know. That algorithm. So we are going to use some different kind of an algorithm. For both ciphertext and for converting into the plain text into ciphertext and ciphertext into plain text. Ciphertext means it is a original text, and ciphertext means cipher or crypto system means that it is a encryption method to convert the plain text into ciphertext. And ciphertext means it is an encrypted message. And the code that is converting encryption, and decipher means reverse process of encryption. Encipher and key space, these are all everything you know about that. And signography is the concept of hiding a messages inside of another message, that is called signography. So then bug factor means that the amount of time you are required to perform your crypto analysis for both encryption and decryptions. These are some of the terminologies you must know while you want to work on, you know about something on cryptography concepts. Okay, so the next one, what are the different components of a crypto system? That is called algorithms, and what is the methodology you are going to apply for a handling, and what is the steps you need to follow. So these are the three steps you must to know. These are so that we call it. These are the three components of a crypto system. And what are the different cipher methods you have? You know that there are two methods. One is called bitstream method and block stream method. Bitstream method, we are going to process on every individual bits. That is called the bitstream. And block stream means we are going to group a number of bits and we are going to apply the concept of encryption decryption method. Then it will be called as block cipher stream method. Okay. So there are different methodology we have for a block cipher method, the substitution method, transposition method, XOR operation, or it may be a hybrid methods. Okay, so we know what is a substitution cipher. We are substituting instead of one character, we are substituting with a different character. Based on the key we are used. So also we have a mono-alphabetic substitution, and the poly-alphabetic substitution is also possible inside of a substitution cipher. And the transposition or permutation, we are going to rearrange your values within that block. It will be called as transposition, Burnham cipher. So I think these kind of methods we already discussed in cryptography and network security. So that I don't need to go with much more about depth on these things. Just we can recall with that. I think already you know about that, so that I don't need to recall anything for that. Okay. And for bit streaming method, there are we are going to process by bit. We are using either DES or maybe AES also. And there are different kind of algorithm. It may be a symmetric key algorithm and asymmetric key algorithm. Symmetric means you are using this same key for both, means in both location, in both encryption and decryption. And asymmetric means we are using private key for encryption and public key for decryption, and it will be coming as asymmetric algorithms. And there are different methodologies we are used. So, and there are different kind of tools normally used for implementation of this cryptography. One is called public key structure, digital signature, digital certificates, hybrid cryptographic system, and signography. And these are the tools which is already discussed in previous concepts itself, so that I don't need to go with any much more depth on that. Just you can recall from that. And what are the different kind of protocols normally used? That is called HTTPS and SSL secure socket layer. PGP also we have for email security, and for electronic transaction we can use SWIFT. And for wireless sequence privacy, for network protocols, and also for Wi-Fi productions, we can use WP also, Wi-Fi protected area access, and also we can use IP security for securing IP packets. These are some of the protocols normally used for securing your packets in a networks. And the different possibility of attacks is possible. Man-in-the-middle attack, that is called brute force attack, dictionary attack, and timing attack. There are 15 kind of attacks we already discussed. From that, there is a 4th possible type of attacks possible in crypto systems. And the next one is called as access control devices. Actually, this access control devices mainly to focus on authentication. Authentication is the process of identifying the user identity. So that there are different kind of authentication is possible. One is you know that the ID, or maybe you are using some cards you are going to implement your ID authorization, or maybe you can use a fingerprint method, or maybe use a voice recognition method. So these are the 4 possible authentication is still now it's existing. By using whatever you have, that is called supplicant knows. Next one, supplicant hash. That means you have some card. You are going to, with the help of card, you are scratch your card and you can enter. And also whatever you have, that is called fingerprint, and produce. That is a voice recognition. It is produced by the supplicants. So these are the different possible ways that we are implementing supplicants. That is a username, a password, or maybe that a passphrase. With the help of these type, we are going to provide authentication. That is called card, and for fingerprint and voice recognitions. There are some biometrics. For evaluation of the biometric, this is the basic properties is very, very important. That is called false reject rate, false accept rate, and the cross error rate. It means that false reject rate means the percentage of the identification the authorized user is not allowed, it's denied to access. It is called as a false reject rate. And the percentage of identification is authorized users allowed to access is called false accept rate. And that is called that the equivalence between that false reject rate and the false accept rate is called as a crossover error rate. And so this is the things about authentication, that is called access control devices for providing authenticity. And here next one I am going to talking about physical security. So from that word itself we can see that the physical, so the mainly to focus on physical locations, the physical things. That means that simply we can talk about that the hardware. It means you're talking about our domain. We are talking about hardware in our organization, the components in our organization. Clear? Okay. So for that physical access, so that we are going to provide some facilities so that the different type of services we are used to for accessing and controlling the physical devices, that is called facility management. So that we are going to have means that we are going to provide a security. Further, we are going to have physical security controls, so that we are going to provide the walls, fencing, and gates. We are going to provide for security. We are going to provide a guards. We are going to have a dogs. We are going to provide ID cards and batches. We are going to provide a locks and keys, man traps, electronic monitoring, alarm and alarm systems. We are going to provide a computer rooms and wiring closets, interior walls and doors. These are the different ways we are going to provide a physical level of security. Clear? Okay. So the next one is called as fire security and safety. For physical security, the fire security and safety also important, so that we are going to use a fire suspense system. Normally it should be installed inside of every organization for controlling a fire. And if the fire if it senses a fire, then it makes a response in the form of alarms. So it may be a fire manual or it may be automatic. So further we can use thermal sensors, or it may mean for a fixed number or maybe a rate of rise, and also the smoke system for us. We are going to different kind of sensors based on that smoke detection and the flame detections. For detecting the flame level, you are going to detect your fires. And here there's a different method, control methods also we have, that is called as a portable, so that you are going to different kind of devices for controlling your, maybe we are going to use the components like food paper fires, liquid or hash, means that once the fire is happened, then what is the method you are going to implement? Clear? So that it's it may be a portable controls you have. That's a manual or automatic systems are going to provide for controlling fires in an organization. Clear? And so if that particular components are failed, or maybe the structures are collapsed, then what is the facility we are going to provide? So for example, for our system, we need a proper air circulation and air conditioning we need. So that we are going to control, this is a major problem we have, that is called heating and ventilation and air conditioning we need. Power management and water, these are the necessary importance we need. So if there is a problem on these things, we need to provide a safe operation for that. So there are different type of UPS facilities out there. So these are some of the basic things we discussed about your security standards. Initially, we are talking about IDPS. Then next one followed by the different kind of scanning tools, and what are the different type of access controls we are going to provide for security. And the next one is for physical security. And also another one more type of security standards also you need, that is called personal security. So we will discuss about the concept of personal security in later part. Is there any clarification?